So the piece I shared with you all was something that I made now. I didn't know which music he was going to play. And obviously I was inspired by Aarti's talk. As artists, I feel that our imagination is one of the most important things. It serves us well. And by entering that imagination and being one with it and allowing it to influence us, we can tell our story. And through this imagination and by being present in the moment at that time, we make ourselves vulnerable and open. I don't know about most things. I'm not politically, scientifically knowledgeable. Whenever somebody speaks about something that is engaging, however, it inspires me. And sometimes I can work with that to speak and to tell a story that sometimes moves me. I think as artists, the only thing that works with us is emotion. Lives of people and lives of humans in general. And there are a few things that I find as a dancer, as an artist, that has helped me not only define my art and my dance and my place and relationship with the art, but has also helped me define myself as a human being within society. I think the first one of those things is vulnerability. And when I come up on stage and I dance and I perform and I share my thoughts and my feelings, I open myself up to you. And I am at that moment vulnerable. I feel that the more honesty that I will bring into my dance, I find you being more empathetic toward me. There are times that I have performed and I've been completely dishonest. I mean, skillfully beautiful, because my body is trained and I can do many things. But emotionally, I'm not vulnerable. If we take away the vulnerability, we become a display of skills. And at that time, you can be in awe. You can, of course, be appreciative, be surprised, but you will not be empathetic towards me. The arts in general are a big voice in many ways. We can connect with people in ways that words cannot. And the thing that we reach for the most is empathy. And how we get that is by being vulnerable. And I think that applies for us in life in general, that when we are vulnerable towards our peers, our co-workers, our family members, then they have empathy towards us. And as an artist, I feel that this quality that I am searching constantly to inculcate in my dance every day is something that helps me connect with all of you every time. The second thing that I find that is very, very important as an artist and dancer is that we are able to recognize our strengths and weaknesses. That we accept our weaknesses and our strengths, and then are able to build on our strengths and strengthen our weaknesses. When we accept these things, then also we are vulnerable and we are open. Very often when I'm teaching, there are things that I don't know. And as a teacher, it's very hard and difficult to accept that I don't know this in front of the students. And I'm always ready to say, I don't know. I'll find out and I'll tell you. But I think even in that moment, my connection with them deepens, both as a human being and as a teacher. I think it's the same as a dancer or as a performer. We build on our strengths and we strengthen our weaknesses. The diligence, grit, and determination is something that's very important. Many people say, oh, you're so talented. And I feel like laughing because I don't think I'm talented. Talent may be 10%, 15%. The rest is all hard work. I'm very, very hardworking. So I'm not the child who someone saw and said, oh my God, she's definitely going to be a dancer. But I was definitely the child who saw and said, oh my God, she's going to work on that for another 20 hours till she gets it. And I think this diligence and grit has served me so well in my years as a dancer that every time I finish something, there's also a sense of dissatisfaction. I don't think I'm ever satisfied with anything that I do. And this sense of dissatisfaction combined with diligence, I think helps me become a better dancer every day. Because we can't assess ourselves in comparison to somebody else. The only person that we can assess ourselves in comparison to is ourselves. So am I a better person than I was yesterday? Is what I think I constantly like to evaluate myself with. And in dance in general, the persistence with which we need to work as dancers is incessant. Our weaknesses are always there. And no matter what you do, you find another weakness. You're like, that didn't work out. And then you find another one. You work on that one and then another one pops up. So then this is incessant, it's constant, and sometimes we think of work, or dance is my work and what I do. I don't think we should think of finishing the tasks for the day, but I think I usually think of finishing my tasks at the end of the day. Does it make sense? The tasks continue until I fall asleep or can't stay awake anymore. So with whatever we pursue, I think if we have that intention or passion in what we do, I think success is inevitable. It's something that happens, and even if we're not successful in the way the word is perceived in today, we are successful for ourselves because we are still better than what we were yesterday. And in the work itself, there is the joy. In the work itself, where we try and try repeatedly to get to that place where we are never going to get to, there is joy. There is joy in movement, in finding things that I did not have yesterday, in finding newness, in finding new avenues of expressing. Just that itself is enough. The third thing that I feel has served me well, which is very difficult in today's age of technology, is trying to be present in the moment. Dance helps me do that because while I'm dancing, I cannot think of anything else. It is like a meditation in its own. And I know that it's the same for anybody who is engaged completely in what they are doing. It is not specific to a particular type of work. That's just how it is with anything, whether someone's writing or reading or working on, engineering a building. I think that single pointed concentration of the mind itself, or being present in that moment, is very essential. And in some ways, it's so beautiful because you're suddenly free. And I'm free from all other thoughts, all other possibilities, because I'm right there at that moment. It also helps us assess the reality of who we are. Because at this moment, I may be in a different place than I was yesterday. And yesterday, I may have performed a stunningly beautiful piece and it was fabulous. But today, I am nothing again. And so I work from where I am again today. And neither our victories nor our failures of yesterday are carried on because we work from where we are today at that moment. And I think that is very essential as an artist. And we develop this skill of trying to be, it's something that I feel can be cultivated. And we develop this skill of being present and in the moment in order to accept what is given to us, what is thrown at us, because an artist's life is never constant, it's never consistent. We may do many things this month and next month we don't perform at all. And so while we are not performing, it doesn't make us any less of an artist or a dancer, because the art and dance is in us. And that is what is essential. Also, when we are present in the moment, we learn to respond to situations at that moment. So, like the piece that I just did in the beginning, I wasn't going to make it about water or about what Aarti spoke about. I let the music start, but that was running in my mind, and I moved, and then the rain fell. And when the rain fell, the rain flowed. And then there was no rain. And then the imagination continues, and you allow it to influence your thoughts, because the world you create around you is real. And that is what allows you to gain empathy, I feel, is being in the moment. Also, when we collaborate with other artists as a classical dancer, the live musicians, the live music, we play together, we play with each other. And sometimes they give me something that I have to accept, and I give them something that they have to accept. So it's a constant play. It's something that happens in the moment, and in that process, we find joy. So I hope that we can all find things that bring us to the present moment, things that drive us incessantly, striving with determination, and in some ways madness, to become a better version of ourselves. And lastly, to find vulnerability to share our true selves with other people. Thank you.